I've always wanted to travel, and when I left the United States for the first time to study abroad in Oxford, I was determined to see as much as I could in the short time I was there. This is the story of how I traveled to 3 countries and 4 cities in 5 days. Because most shows we saw were on weekends, the 2018 Shakespeare Study Abroad course offered little to no time for free traveling. So when it was revealed that we would have August 2nd through 5th for free travel, the other students and I started planning right away. Although the rest of the Shakespeare class wanted to go to Disneyland Paris in Ireland, I really wanted to see Italy. So I formed a group with 3 people from the communications class that happened to be in Oxford at the same time. While I already knew my friend Justin, being in this new group gave me the opportunity to make 2 new friends, Alex and Christine. With nothing but a backpack to carry all our necessities for the trip, we left our homes on Canterbury Road at 5 a.m. on August 2nd and began our journey. Leaving Gloucester Green Station, we took a bus to London Stansted, then took a plane to Verona, then took a cab to a train station, then took a train to Venice, where we spent the day seeing the sights, eating gelato, and dipping our feet in the canals. Then we slept on a train that took us to Rome. We started by visiting the Vatican. Then we saw the Colosseum, the Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, and the Pantheon. Of course, we also ate gelato. We then spent the night in an Airbnb. Early the next morning, we took the metro to the train station. Then we missed our train. So we waited in the station, then took a different train to Verona, then immediately hopped on a bus that took us to the airport where we boarded a flight to Paris, which landed at 2 a.m. Paris. Oui, oui. We then took a night bus to a stop from which we walked to our hotel. We woke up the next morning and spent all day in Paris. We went to Mass at Notre Dame, had a croissant, saw the Arc de Triomphe in a very unsafe fashion, had lunch under the Eiffel Tower, visited the Louvre, and ate escargot and fancy cheese for dinner. After sleeping in the hotel, we took a bus to the airport at 3 a.m., then flew back to London, then took a bus back to Oxford in time to make it to class that afternoon. Laid out like that, it can be easy to think that the trip was hectic, sleepless, and generally unpleasant. But it wasn't. Seeing so much of Europe in such a short amount of time was exciting, and made me feel very small in the best way possible. The adults we consulted before our trip thought it was a terrible idea and told us to shorten the amount of places we were visiting. But in the end, I'm glad we didn't listen to the naysayers. In fact, they made us even more determined to succeed, no matter what obstacles came our way. And there were a few. We wanted to see as much of Europe as we could, and I believe we accomplished that. This trip gave me a community of friends I never would have gotten close to otherwise, and brought me closer to one of the friends I already had. So yes, it's important to stop and smell the roses. But sometimes it's also okay to speed and smell the roses, and I'm so glad we did.